Hey guys, finally back doing another video. It's obviously been quite a while, and the reason for that is I've just been flat knacker at work. As some of you may have noticed when you've been watching the videos, I own a rental car company, and during the pandemic obviously we had plenty of time, but since then the borders have opened and we've started getting busier and busier to the point now where it's just gone flat out, which is really good for the company, but what it does mean is a lot of 70-hour weeks.
One thing that Jacinda did right.
Well, yeah, that is debatable, but anyway, so we've had a lot of cars in storage, and as we got busier I've had to pull them out, and when something's been lying around for a year or two, you know, there's a fair amount of work to get them up and running again, but I'm just getting to the end of it now, and starting to free up a little bit more time. So the video you're about to watch is one that I filmed probably a couple of months ago, and I really don't know why we haven't posted it, but we just didn't get to it. But
we were going to post an update, but
we were, and then
about it.
just busy, and yeah. But anyway, like I say, this video is a couple of months old, but I'm just starting to work on the Panorama again now, and on Tuesday, it's Labour weekend this weekend, on Tuesday I'm going to order some more lower panels for Orange Ruffy as well, so going to start getting back into it. We'll try and get these Caravans done by Christmas, but I'm not going to get too stressed out if we don't, so we'll see how we go.
And
Anyway,
if you go to High, you might be able to see the Panorama.
Maybe, we'll see. Little bro might borrow it to go down there, but we'll see. Anyway, enjoy. Hey guys, in this one we're back on the Panorama. We're going to take a break from Orange Ruffy for a little bit, and it's not going to be super exciting, but what we're going to do is prepare the roof for paint, or for primer first. Then we'll sand that down and seal the roof. Okay, let's get into it. I've been on this for a few hours now, just basically working my way along each panel and giving it a sand up and taking all of the old filler out. So you can see where I've done that along here, and up along here as well, because it's all got to come out, and you can see what it was like. So that horrible stuff's on all of these roof joins, and it all has to come out, and it's all got to come out right up next to that lip, because we're going to seal that all, which I'm going to do after primer. And again, where the awning attachments are here, I've taken those off, but there's been an aluminium strip put on. I assume that's just to add some extra strength, so I'm going to leave it there. And you can see there, all old filler, and all of it's got to go. This awning rail here, sorry I'm right up close to the Caravan because I'm on a ladder. I've decided to leave that on, just because it's got, I'll have to go down the ladder to show you, without falling over. It's got heaps of these screws, and they've all been in there since 1979. So I couldn't see the point in going through the pain of taking all of those out. I had to up the end there when we did the roof repair a wee while ago, but none of this goes inside the Caravan. It all just goes down to this flashing here. So if it was on one of the older models where it has seams underneath that can leak into the Caravan, then I would take it off. But for this one, it really doesn't matter. So I'm going to finish today and go and sit on the couch and eat bad food and watch the V8s. Hey guys, it's a number of weeks later. I've been doing a little bit of work on Panorama, but not a lot because we've been super busy at work. So we're getting back on it again today. And the main change since last time is it has a green roof, which is the primer. So I've primed it in an Epitech primer, which is a really good primer. We've sanded it back, and the next step is I'm going to go along and seal all these joints. If you wait there, I'll just get. Are you
putting on the awning railings back on?
I will do.
Is there an awning to this? I forgot.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But what we're using is an Sikaflex MS, which is something I've had a lot of success with in the past. I've sealed up a couple of caravans and they've never leaked. So this one has a lot of joins, but because you'll remember that we just got those masked at the moment because it was out in the rain and I didn't want it to leak. But I went round and cleaned all of the old sealer out, put the primer on, sanded the primer. There's a couple of places where I went through, I just put a bit of etch on that before we paint it. But yeah, we cleaned up all these joints and now we're going to reseal the whole roof, which takes quite a bit of time. So I've done half of it, but I'll jump back into it shortly and show you how I've done it. I'm just going to show you how we do this stuff. You can see I've done a little bit there. I've just had this taped up because it's been outside. I didn't want it to fill up with water.
Sorry if the camera works a bit shaky.
Yeah. And don't leave your masking tape on for too long because it breaks up, like this stuff is.
Albatross.
It's times like this when it pays, and I'm probably got to have a light cameraman.
And it weighs 26 kilos.
He does,
Okay,
so he can stand on the roof joint. Here we go. Alright. You ready?
Yep.
So, Sikaflex on the join. Don't need much because it's only a small join that we're using. So that's probably
Where you buy those is either local Bunnings or
Bunnings or Mitre 10.
Mitre 10. Bunnings is better, but
This has probably got sealer underneath it, but what we're going to do, I've sort of been agonising on how to do it. Whether to paint it first and then seal it, or seal it and then paint it. And you can do it either way, but this sealer is paintable, so you can spread that out, paint over the top of it, and the idea is that the paint will protect the sealer, obviously for years to come. The other bummer is if the sealer goes off, you've got to get rid of the paint to take care of it, but I can't see that happening, so I think this is probably the best way to go. It's quite funny actually, this reminds me doing this of I was at a mate's place a couple of months ago and I watched him do some sealing work, and I think he, based on what I saw, I think he would really benefit from this. Hey Paul, how you going? I know you're watching.
Yeah.
Alright, so soapy water, put some on your finger, whichever finger you're going to use to smooth it off. And because this sealer, it won't stick to a wet surface. So this way, and a bit of cardboard.
were you sealing when you were doing the man cave?
Oh, no, it's a chiller.
Don't worry, we're coming to get that XR soon.
So you just peel that off like that.
Does it not stick to your hand?
No, because I wet my hand first. It won't stick to a wet surface. Just like that. Most of the sealer I put on's just come off again. And then once it dries, I'll go over it with a little bit of terps just around the edges, but that there is all you need really. Like I say, I'll just, these little bits like up here, I'll go with a bit of terps, but you can see here, that's filled that joint up nicely, so we shouldn't get any leaks whatsoever through there. And we can paint, we'll leave it for a couple of days, and we can paint straight over it So the air. All right, so what we can do is, I'll put this sealer in here now, and you can see if you come right up to this, up to here, up to that join, that it's filled that in nicely. I'll come over this just in a minute when it dries, and I'll wipe off this excess with a bit of terps, which cleans it up nicely, and then it's ready to paint, and that'll be good for years to come, really. So I've just got to finish doing all the rest of the joins now, and we'll come back to you and show you once they're all done.
Okay.
Right, after numerous hours, I finally siliconed every joint in this roof, around the roof fence, under the plastic fence there, but everything is done. And the beauty of using a green primer is that you can see where you've been. Make sure that you haven't missed anything. So I'm going to leave this for probably a day or two, or a couple of days, silicon down the awning rail there. So she's going to be definitely watertight. I'd be really surprised if this thing leaks, but yeah, leave it for a day or so, and then we'll paint it, and then we can finally finish working on this roof, because it's been a huge job, massive job. That one is sealed, you just can't see it properly. Alright, time for Heineken and V8 supercars. Here's another view from upstairs, just to show you this thing all sealed up. Not sure if it's coming out or not. But all sanded and primed, so that's going to make a really nice surface for paint. And the primer's been on there for a wee while now, so it's nicely cured. So next time you see it, she should be shiny white. I picked up the paint for it the other day. Believe it or not, we're now 2 months later. I did paint this thing pretty soon after the last video that you saw, or the last bit of film work that I did, which was 2 months ago for me and about 5 seconds ago for you guys. So yeah, since then it's all painted and well cured by now, and we're starting to finally get back to it, and we're going to get into getting that middle bit sorted.